we really need 2 cats in this league?
Hello?
Hello, Mrs. Southside. Have you ever been to Chatham?
Where's Chatham?
Thank you. That's all we needed.
They're literally a bus.
Go!
Mr. Glizzy, if I showed you this animal, what sound do you think it would make?
Have you met their fans?
Yeah, I'm from the area.
Makes sense.
This ain't hockey. Let's go Royals. Help me.
He's just not over Game 5.
Ryan, thank you so much for taking time out of your very busy schedule. I know it's.
You know I love this stuff. I'm all about it.
Oh, I am too, and it's great to finally, I don't think we've actually had a face-to-face like this. Like, we've talked on the phone and everything else, but we've never actually.
And I've seen each other at the ballpark once or twice, but other than that, we really haven't had a full-blown conversation about the good old IBL.
The good old IBL, yes. They're going to be putting on my tombstone at some point. Not anytime soon, but at some point. Yeah, exactly. But yes, so you guys moved to Welland in 2019, correct?
Yeah.
So this is
fun. That was Burlington, Ontario is over, and the wonderland that is Welland, Ontario opened its doors to the Welland Jackfish, and myself, Jason, Dan, and Adam, and we're here now from Burlington. Yeah.
Oh, exactly, and it's just. Somebody said something, I think it was actually on one of the other clips and everything. You guys pretty much moved in the middle of the night. Well, it wasn't middle of the night. It was 8 o'clock at night, something. Set the alarms off at the stadium.
It was the middle of November, and we got the key from the city, and it was about 8 o'clock at night. So we rolled up to the stadium, opened the door, and for people that are listening are from the area and have heard the alarm at Welland Stadium go off, it is like a prison break.
No, oh wow!
And there's this big siren in the concourse that goes off.
Yeah.
Whole neighborhood knows, and so we weren't told there was an alarm. We didn't know there was a code. None of that. And the funniest part about it was the NR Niagara Regional Police were doing SWAT training down at the end of the parking lot.
No.
So they rolled over and we're going, "What are you guys doing?" And we're like, "No, we're supposed to be here.
We're supposed to. We have papers. We're not ripping the place off."
Yeah, so Dan's truck was chock full of office equipment and stuff like that, and we were just moving in the middle of the night with sirens going off. So it was,
great.
Good story.
So you look back over the 5 years, and it was probably the first 2 years were kind of rough, and then we had COVID in the middle, and you guys came back in 2021. And you went 15-15, and then since then, 3 consecutive 31-11 seasons. Like, that's just unheard of in this league. Unheard of.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of other people might say that the regular season in this league doesn't mean a whole lot, but I'll tell you the commitment our guys make to this team and this community to put on a winning product is second to none. And to go 30 plus win seasons 3 in a row is massive.
Like,
don't get me wrong, yes, I know there's more games now than there used to be, but we're committed to putting the best possible team on the field year in and year out, and we will do stop at nothing to make sure that they work the most competitive that we can be.
Yeah. So now the baseball side is taken care of usually by Jason and everything else. You focus on the entertainment aspect, making it Niagara's best show. And I like that. I like that just because it's different. And it's just like, you incorporated all the good things that go on outside of the baseball game. And it's, oh, by the way, there's a baseball game going on too.
Yeah, I mean, we say this in everything that we do. Yes, we are a baseball team. That is not what we do. We are an entertainment destination, and that's what we put all of our focus in on. And it's a thought that we put into everything in the office, from entering the parking lot to coming through the front gate to going to the bathroom to going to the concession stand. Is how can we entertain you and also give you the best possible customer service experience that you ever had.
Yeah.
And we always say, just because we're in Welland doesn't mean we can't offer a world-renowned experience and customer service and everything like that. So we actually do a training session with all of our employees, and I mean everybody.
Yep.
Concession staff, front gate staff, interns, everybody, before the season starts, and we go over we have internally as our playbook, and what that is how we operate, how we interact with fans, the kind of the do's and don'ts on how to make everybody's experience the best possible. And our thing at our stadium is the customer's always right. No matter what happens, you're gonna have a great experience. One of our great examples is someone comes up to the concession stand, gets a nacho, turns around, trips on their own feet, nacho goes everywhere. Give them a new nacho.
Yeah, well, you have to. You have to in this day and age.
And we go above and beyond more than most, even normal businesses, to take care of our fans.
Yeah, and I like the fact that I've seen the signs when I was at the stadium last year. And it's like, hey, remember, this is somebody's first Jackfish game, and I just
that's plastered everywhere inside of our building. So when our staff are going out the door, it kind of reminds them that, listen, we do have a diehard fan base, but there is somebody from maybe outside of Welland.
Well, exactly.
For the very first time, and it doesn't matter if it's their first or their 100th game. You got to go above and beyond for everybody.
Yep. So you guys are known for doing wacky promotions, wacky themes, everything else. How does that process start? Like, you guys sitting in the office and you got a big whiteboard, you got a big handful of spaghetti with names on it, and you just throw it and hope something sticks to the wall? And
yeah, kind of. I mean, every Monday at 1:00 we do we call it a promo meeting.
Yeah. And
so we sit through that, and it touches every aspect of the entertainment part. So we talk about theme nights, we talk about jersey ideas, we talk about on-field promotions, and everything in between. So basically what we do is every one of us comes up with 2-3 ideas. We slap it on the whiteboard. If we all like it, we transition it off to another board where we flush it out. If we think it needs a little bit more work or we're not really sure about it, it moves down to the bottom of the board. And we come back to it later the next week, and maybe someone has a new idea on it. So it's always trying to find the most unique things as humanly possible, and the most, how can I say this without everybody listening? I'm looking for holy F moments. Yep. That makes people go, wow, what did I just see?
Yeah.
And what I want to really get down to is that people from outside of Niagara, they're coming down to Niagara Falls, let's say, which a lot of tourists do. They go, we got to go see the Jackfish because we got to see what these idiots are up to now.
Yeah.
That's pretty much where we're going for. And what we're going for this year really is trying to get the players involved now. No, they're not going to be dancing like the Savannah Bananas.
No.
But when they're not actually playing, we want to get them involved in as many things as humanly possible.
Oh, exactly. And I think it's one of those extra, I call it bonus features. They'll go into a Jackfish game and go into an entertainment show like you guys put on off the field. It's just like, that's what's going to get people talking about it the next morning. It's not going to be traditionally the game. It's going to be whatever else they saw that went on in the stands or whatever else.
And most of our fans, they leave our park, their response is, what a great show you guys put on. That's what they're always saying. And I mean, you're not going to get the viral attention unless you make people pay attention. How do you do that? Well, you're not going to do that by just putting a baseball game on.
No.
Everybody else does that. So we try to become viral sensations every year. It hasn't happened yet. We're working on it.
You came close a few times, I'm sure.
Yeah, we got some attention here and there, but we're going to try to do some things that are wild, but not wild enough we're going to put in jail. So we're pushing the boundaries here to see how far we can get.
So what has been the reaction of the neighbors to some of this stuff that goes on? I know the fireworks and everything else. I'm always worried that the poor people in the home run derby, that poor lady's barbecue just got absolutely peppered by Salazo and company.
wasn't really excited, but for the most part, the vast majority of the people in Welland have been unbelievably supportive of the team.
Yeah.
And I think that all businesses should be doing the same thing, especially in a small community like ours. Is we give back so much.
Oh, no question, you guys
we don't
do.
just ask for people to come to games. We also give back to the community.
Yep.
We put our community impact report last year. The money we give back to charities and the impact we do within the community is huge. So we are going to continue to do that. I want to hand out giant checks every year. Hand them over. So that's a big piece for me. And I know this year on a Sunday we're going to be doing a Guns and Hoses game, apart from the IPL, but
nice.
cops versus firefighters. And one of the charities for firefighters is Hospice Niagara, which is near and dear to me. So all those things huge play, and we're getting a lot of support.
Has there ever been a promotion you've done and you thought it was going to go over well and it just absolutely flopped in your mind? And how do you recover from those things?
Well, our first tropical night, actually, this jersey's funny. That t-shirt's funny that I'm wearing, because our very first tropical night, we kind of did it as like, the movie
Tropic Thunder? Semi-Pro, yeah. Yep.
So we thought we were going to do tropical night, and half actual tropical, half the movie semi-pro. So we went out in the field and we did the whole skit from the movie semi-pro where Dukes is throwing the half-court shot.
Yeah.
My brother was dressed up as Dukes, and I was out there as whatever his name is.
Will Ferrell, whatever his name is, yeah.
Like, crickets. Nobody thought it was funny, thought it was awful. So that one sucks. But the thing is, you're never going to learn unless you try all kinds of different stuff. And, there's some, contests we've done before that were duds, and we just don't do them again. Or we flush them out and make them more funny. Obviously, with our contest, carnage is encouraged.
Yeah.
It makes it comical, but there's been a million things we've tried and just don't work, and we just move on.
So I know you guys mentioned on your podcast new characters coming. Can you give us a little bit of what's going on with some of those guys without giving too much away now, or is it?
Yeah, we got a new character coming. We actually might have two. So our first one is based off our Wiggles character. That's about as far as I'm going to
Oh, jeez. I'm scared.
And another one is going to be a character that looks out for people that aren't having a good time. Let's just leave that one at that. So so there'll be Mr. Glizzy will be back.
Yeah.
Rowley Pig, Coach, the mascot, obviously, and then we're always adding new people. So we call them what do we call them? Oh man, what's their name? It doesn't matter. But anyway, we have a name for our entertainers. So it's gonna be it's gonna be wild.
Yeah. So you and I were talking in the off season because I was trying to put a social media post as far as how many hot dogs people were selling, and I was floored how many you guys sell. You sold over 10,000 last year in that stadium and everything.
The total was around 10,000. Our Looney Dog Night, which actually is funny you asked me about this, because I just talked to our provider about Looney Dog Night. He said he's super excited about it because his son said he's going to eat 10. So
all right.
We did over 1,000 just in that one night.
Yeah, well, I saw the post. I remember seeing it at some point. It was like 750, and I know Alex was doing the broadcast, and he was like, "Yeah, it's like it's close to 8 now." It's like, okay, how many of these hot dogs are these guys putting away here? It was crazy.
And the wild part is we get guys that come in like, "Oh, I'm going to eat 100," and I'm like, "Man, you're not going to eat 100." He goes, "Oh, I do it at the Jays game." I'm like, "No. These are full size." Yeah,
they're full size dogs. They're not the little tiny things you get on.
But that night we're going to bring back. It's going to be actually weenie appreciation night. So it's I appreciate everything there is to do about hot dogs.
Yeah.
And we're going to have all of our staff wearing hot dog suits and all that fun things. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's there's a little giveaway right there. Promo schedule will come out in a couple months, but it's we had a lot of hot dogs last year.
Yeah, you did.
So
yeah,
we'll keep it up.
What can you tell us about the big event you guys are promoting on February 5th?
The only thing I can tell you is we're going to take people back in time.
Okay.
And it comes with a new uniform.
You guys have some pretty stellar alternate jerseys, and when we did when the league did the alternate jersey poll, it was just like, okay, how do you pick the best ones from Welland?
Well, Hamilton's pretty classic. I mean, a lot of people are doing the baby blues, but Yeah, I mean, ours are just wild. We're gonna do another 4, I think, 3 or 4. One's Canada Day because we're playing Canada Day, but one is like actually 2 of them are super wild. The one earlier in the year is going to be pretty ridiculous. That whole night's going to be ridiculous. I don't think anybody's ever done one of these before anywhere. So I hope our players are up for it because they're going to be heavily involved. But it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to take some people back.
I think the only one I didn't really like was the Argyle sweater one from the.
Nobody did.
Yeah, it was just one of them. It just didn't seem like it worked for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know. It was all different. We just gave it a shot. It was all different color Argyle, and really, again, when we do these things, it's we hope it gets picked up by some big social media account and takes it off. I mean, like there's a AA team in Binghamton, New York. They just renamed they're going to be renaming their team for a couple games as the Binghamton Bathtub Donkeys. So I mean,
yeah.
Well, that's the kind of stuff we're trying to come up with, but like make it our own. We're not really into stealing things from people. Ideology of things or how they perceive themselves, maybe, but not actual full out stealing from people. So not interested in that.
One of my favorite things, of course, is your April Fool's Day stuff. Like you guys went all out 2 years ago with the Rose City Timber.
Wait till this one.
Oh man!
Yeah.
So I'm gonna turn my phone off that day and just remind myself it's April 1st all day. Just don't believe anything comes out of that man's mouth.
Part of that is people think don't realize what day it is, and they write in the comments like, "You gotta be kidding me!" And we respond on it every time as they'll go Happy April Fools, and we'll respond back, "Who's April and why is she fooling?" Actually, the Timber Tires one's pretty funny because we did that. And we got 2 different kind of responses. We got, "Oh my God, it's way better than the Jackfish."
Yeah.
And then we actually had like a good amount of people who emailed us saying they want their season ticket money back. So I personally, they emailed me and I emailed back like, "What's today's date?"
Yeah.
And we weren't even going to be the Timber Tires. We weren't going to do it.
No, I know. You guys, it was just planned as an April Fool's joke, and then it's like, okay, we got to deal with this thing because people were starting to.
People were going nuts about it, and then we did a one-off like pre-buy of hats, and we sold over 100 hats. And so I mean, it was insane, and we went with it and we did it for 2 years. We're not bringing it back this year, so that's gone to pasture for now. But we got a new one hooked up. That's going to be
better.
I just want to tell you right now, but
I know. I don't want to spoil it because you got your own podcast and everything else. Your fans deserve it first as much as I'd love to get the scoop. No, don't do it. Don't do it. I'm not going to be that guy. You can tell me off stream. I won't say anything, but that's good.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. So of the merchandise, as we got to pivot to merchandise and everything else. I was going through your shop. There's a Jackfish underwear.
Uh-huh.
How the heck did that come about?
So we actually have a promotion at the stadium where I shoot Jackfish logo underwear out of a t-shirt cannon.
Yeah.
And really what it came down to is actually, I will say this one's a little bit stolen. So Savannah Bananas have Savannah Banana underwear.
Yeah.
But we were originally going to sell them. We just we had somebody that wanted to do something out of a t-shirt cannon, but we already had t-shirts coming out. You can't shoot hot dogs out of them because they explode.
No.
So I'm like, why don't we do something just ridiculous? And don't tell people. Like, we didn't tell people we're going to shoot underwear at them. And they're thinking it's a t-shirt, and they unravel, and they go,
like, oh my God, it's Tidy Whities.
And really what I was hoping was going to happen was either they were going to put them on and dance around in them or put them on their head, and we were going to get viral shots on these underwear around their heads. And then we were shooting them out, and people were coming up to us like, where can we buy these underwear? And we're like, oh, well, we don't sell them. We just shoot them out in the crowd, like, 5 a game or whatever. Oh, man, if you had them in the shop, I'd buy them. Like, they're just Fruit of the Loom underwear, like, with a logo on the crotch. Not a big deal. So now you're selling them. But,
for every day that ends in Y.
full hat, the foam fish hats, and all this stuff. Like, it's just the stuff our fans.
Well, even the Croc tags. My daughter was like, Dad, if you're going to the game, can you give me a pair of Croc tags? I'm like going, those things are always sold out.
If you saw the lineup out to the parking lot, you'd be shocked. I was shocked of our Croc charms.
Yeah.
It's insanity. Like, we're coming up with a bunch of new giveaways this year. One on Father's Day. We haven't done a Father's Day giveaway ever. This one's going to be really, really cool that we're doing. And we got got a bobblehead this year again.
Yep. That was actually one of the questions that somebody asked over there. What was the bobblehead, if we can get some information on it? So there's one bobblehead this year.
There is one bobblehead for sure. So it's already been ordered and it's being made now.
Yeah.
We have our season ticket holders are making out like bandits. They're getting jerseys this year, which is insanity.
Yeah.
How we got that to come to be. Lots of different stuff we're gonna do. So it's great.
As far as Brian Esri and everything else goes, I definitely got to get him down for an interview one of these days. We were going to do it last year, and then just some other things just happened as far as personal and everything else. And it was just like, going to get him in. I want to talk to Sanford. I want to talk to Tyler Dupuis, because you keep saying Tyler doesn't talk a lot, but maybe I can get him to open up. We'll see.
He talks. I don't know. Ty's great. We love him. I mean, he's one of our few local guys. He's one of the best. I mean, we get mic'd up with him. He's hilarious. So you'll be see actually a lot more of that kind of stuff with our players. It's more mic'd up, more stuff we used to do, kind of funny interviews and weird things and whatever. So.
Well, those are those things that draw attention to the program anyway. So it's just like, yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's what we're trying to do is, build them up, and if they move on, then they got that experience with us. And we're actually redoing our dressing room this year, so that's kind of a nice perk for them. Going back to the coaches, where all the coaches are back, which is great. Ricky and Brian and everybody else, and so it's gonna be a good year, another good year, and we're gonna have a lot of fun.
Yep. Is there anything on the wish list that you're still actively looking at? Anything from either your end of things or from Jason's end of things?
I want to hit 1,000 season ticket holders this year. We're real close, and I want to sell it every game. That's my dream. And we sold out 7 games last year. We should be pretty close to selling out most games this year, which would be unbelievable in our market. But I don't know. There's some development with the city going on where we might be getting a big upgrade in the facility.
Nice.
We don't know for sure, but
you guys have applied for funding or something for the lighting and stuff.
The city applied for funding for a grant from the state's matching grant. So if we get the full thing, it'd be about just shy of $1 million of upgrades to the facility, above and beyond what we've already done. So we're really trying to make Welland Stadium 35 years old, but considered one of the, I think it is already, but top 1-2 parks in Ontario.
Yeah, no question.
And we're really working towards that. So
that's a very lofty goal, my friend. I think that's also a great spot to end this, and just say thanks again for your time. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. I know you've had a very busy day, and I'm sure the family is probably looking for some time too. So you go take care of that.
We'll find her.
All right. Thanks for chatting, Ryan.
Yeah.
And joining me now on the show, and again, these guys have got such a busy schedule. I was just nice enough to get Jason McKay to step in after Ryan talked to us last night. So when you guys were watching it, it's like, okay, we had to cut it together afterwards, but the magic of the video is we can do something like that. But thanks again. Great to see you again, Jason, and just thanks for taking the time. I guess I got to start the show by congratulating the Carleton Ravens on winning the national championship last fall. And it's just I tagged you in a post like almost an hour afterwards. I'm sitting here packing up for the last time in the fall, going my buddy Jason McKay somewhere is probably quietly celebrating, having a beer or a toast to something to the Ravens.
Well, I'm going to tell you, they're entering their 30th year.
Yeah.
And from back when myself and a friend and teammate at the time, Ben Booker, planned that entire program out on the napkin of a St. Hubert's chicken.
Good old Sam, yeah.
Yeah. I probably accessed a little bit more than I should have out of my OSAP funds to get uniforms and stuff.
Yep.
A couple weeks later, that's where you and I know each other. Like, so
exactly.
We
go back 3 decades, yeah.
With the SEBA, President Bill Martin said, "Hey, do you want to join this conference?"
Yep.
And the rest is history. But what they've done with it since is
I know it's night and day. It's just great to see, even just to see the team and everything else. So those guys are they're a great character group, that's for sure.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. They've got a good thing going up there too. So as we've seen, we've had multiple players in the league come out of there, right?
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. So now we got to shift the tides here. We got to go back a little bit. As much as I don't want to bring up Game 5, because I don't want to wind up in a trunk in somebody's car for bringing up Game 5.
We're the wrong team to be doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not sure we've got some other teams in this league that might resort to that. But,
No, that was
Game 5. I mean,
that whole series was.
Yeah.
That whole series, like the home team lost every game in that series, which I don't know. I can't remember any time that ever happened before in this league. Like Herbie would probably stand and jump in and correct me, but it's just I don't think it's ever happened.
It was that's a pretty unique circumstance. But when you see how that series played out, I mean their pitching. We knew going in their pitching was going to be tough.
Yeah.
Right, because we're going to have everybody there. And then when you have veterans step up, the way Connor Morrow stepped up, the way Josh stepped up, right? And then Garrett, Timely, and then a couple of the unsungs, which you always need.
Yep.
I do think the series could have went anyway. I still like to think that maybe we took some of the gas out of the.
I think you definitely did, and I think Game 1 after it went in extra innings and they had the lead and then it didn't go their way. Very rallied up in the 10th inning and then won it in the 12th. It was just like, oh man.
I mean, when Dino's running things, they're going to hit the field prepared.
Yep.
They're going to have a plan, and they executed. And there's a lot of parallels from us the year before.
Yep.
Our hump to get over was Toronto.
Yep.
And I think I'm not necessarily saying that we were a hump for them to get over.
No, but it was that first round even.
Yeah.
The first round, and it's like even just because I've been involved with the league so much and that team so much over the years that it weighed on me, to be honest. It weighed on me because I was the GM the last time they won a series. So it's just like, man, was this my fault somehow? Like on some levels, I always kept blaming myself.
Well, you know what we really saw, of course I wanted it to end differently.
Yep.
And see what we could have done about heading up to 400. But what we saw was a lot of guys stepping in and out of their established roles and comfort zone. I think Dave Mendez maybe pitched 60% of the innings that he pitched all season long.
Oh, no question. And when was the last time Davey Mendez went 4 innings in a game in the IBL? I had to go look. I was looking through the books. I was looking for everything. Going, I don't think he ever did it. I think he's gone 3 before, but at 4 and 4 1/3, it was like.
And I think, you're a student in the history of the league. We've seen it that when it comes down to that, it's awfully tough to get the ball out of these guys' hands.
Oh, no question.
Even when it's for their better interest, their long-term
longevity, exactly. It's like, your long-term health is a little more important than going 3 more innings here. Like, come on, just let somebody else pick the ball. Yeah.
There was no getting that ball out of Davey's hands. So, but I think in a perfect world, every team would have a chance to win.
Yep.
Right. As much as dynasties are fun to write about and think about in the legacy, and we've had 2 fantastic ones, right, in the last 15 years.
Yep.
I think it's always better for the league when there's more parity and the competition, the compete level is more even across the board.
Yeah.
And I think we're moving that way.
I think we definitely are. As far as I think, there's not usually a true front runner right now as far as what's been going on. So it's like, hey, if so and so gets hurt, so and so gets hot, hey, this team could probably sneak through here, and everything else is that. And it's just as far as now, your role as a general manager is. Are you still thinking 3 steps ahead here? Or are you trying to?
Well, I mean, at some point, the makeup of our team, I think there's other teams in the league that are starting to shift closer to it.
Yeah.
But with our minor ball situation still developing and still probably a few years away from being able to provide more local talent, more Brandon Underhills, more Will Jackmans, more Tyler Dupuis, more Ethan Pascos.
Yeah.
Until we can get up a little higher, we're always going to have to bring in talent
from all over
around the country.
Well, exactly.
So, you never know when somebody says, "Okay, it's time to start my life."
Yeah. Well, exactly.
7, my girlfriend's back at home. Mom and dad want to know what I'm going to do for a living.
Yeah, exactly. And we've all been in that situation where we've had players go through that, and it's just like it's hard because you're kind of banking on these guys, and then it's like then you have to.
We're always looking. Like we have a core, and for the better part, our core is coming back. Maybe we'll touch on that in a little bit, but we've also had some good new signings that have yet to be announced.
Yep.
Some talented ball players that we're pretty excited about. So,
So how is the roster looking? We're not in February yet, so I'm not going to start asking for names or anything because this is still early. This is still early, and that's the whole thing. But it goes so fast too that it's just like okay. Like I know you guys, the 5 import spots now, it helps a lot of teams. I know for you guys, it gives you guys a little more flexibility, but you usually don't max out your import spots till you have to. You guys have always been good about that. You've always keep that one card around till we need something else to get, and then usually it's a head turner. It's like, where did they get this guy from?
Well, it's I have found, and maybe that's more a testament to what I prefer to do and what I don't prefer to do.
Yeah,
it's easier to bring somebody in than bring the wrong person in and then send somebody home.
Yeah.
And by wrong person, it's more or less, if it's a character thing, that usually gets identified very quick.
Yeah.
And that's a no-brainer. If it's a performance issue, it's still tough.
Yeah.
Right. It's still tough to have that conversation, but that's where we're at. That's where the league is at. So we want to make sure when we bring somebody in that we have a reasonable amount of knowledge and research done that they're here to stay.
Yeah.
So right now, Robert, Davey, and Teodoro are re-signed.
All right, so Teodoro hasn't been announced yet, so I guess we're announcing that now. Ryan's gonna kill me tomorrow, but that's okay.
No, that's fine. That's fine. It's been in for a while.
Yeah.
And then there's 2, but we've been more active on the domestic front.
Yeah.
More active on getting Canadian players.
Well, and I think you need to anyways, just as far as you can't, as much as it's nice to get the hired gun from the States or Dominican or points unknown, it's just, I think it looks better for the league. Just this is my personal preference. Hey, it's a Canadian-based league with a lot of Canadian talent in it.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, couple holes that we're looking to fill, Matteo Porcelato been invited to the Quebec Capitals camp.
Oh, nice.
Well deserved.
Well deserved. No, it's great for Porch.
One of those well-rounded players that can do pretty much every aspect at a high level.
Yeah.
Right. So don't know what that's going to look like. Hope we don't see him again, like in a good way.
Yeah, no offense, but we hope you go do great things.
Exactly. We signed the WCBL Pitcher of the Year the last 2 years running. Young man named Halen Knoll.
Yeah.
We're pretty excited about him, but after he signed with us, he was picked up by Trois-Rivières.
Yeah.
So he's got to go and got to go see about that. And
yeah. Well, exactly.
Do that. But if for some reason
it doesn't pan
that
out,
opportunity's not the right one, we're
ready.
More than happy to have him come down the highway.
No question. Question.
But other than that, our core seems to be relatively intact because there's no need to blow it up.
Oh no, no. You guys you were basically an inning away from moving on. Let's put it that way. Like you guys were maybe one hit, clutch hit, and I think even the 5th inning. I think you guys had him on the ropes in the 5th inning, and it was just needed that one hit.
And hey, that's baseball.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And, but that was that's a juggernaut up on top of that 400.
Yeah.
And it would have been interesting to see how we matched up over a series because what a lineup that Josh and team put together.
Oh, exactly. It was just it was a tough lineup to have to go against every night. It's just like, okay, yeah, they got so many guys that can hurt you.
For sure.
So what's on the shopping list still? What are you? I know you're talking about some holes and everything else, but those are good holes to have because it means the guys are doing things and getting noticed for doing those things.
So it's interesting. So if we were to do like an unwatched version of Hard Knocks, because who would want to do Hard Knocks? Well, what's the baseball version of it? I don't know. Gap shots.
Yeah.
We'll call it. But Brian and I, Brian Esri, our field manager, and I, we talk about this, and the brain says, put it on the mound.
Yep.
put arms on the mound. When it comes down to it, you got to have arms on the mound. But sometimes the heart and the gut says, boy, wouldn't you just like to have an absolute mauler at the plate?
Yeah.
Somebody that's just going to assault everything thrown at them. And so we go back and forth on how are we going to fill these last two spots? Like, what does our starting pitching look like? I mean,
well, you got Big Ben going one,
Yeah.
and then they got
Yeah.
Taylor two, and then it's just
exactly.
Yeah.
Right? So it all depends largely how your signings go from a domestic standpoint, a local and domestic standpoint.
Yeah.
It depends on what level that you're able to access there, and then that really dictates. That's why we've always waited more often than not on imports.
Oh, exactly. Like it was like I was not expecting you guys to fill that last card till you have to. till you got somebody in there. Till you got somebody in there and locked. Yeah.
I to put that pure GM hat on. I would say I'd want it on the mound.
Yeah.
Like I just want horses.
Well, exactly. Because especially when it gets down to how the playoff schedule works in this league, it's like, hey, you've got 5 games in less than 7 days usually. You get rain in that, and it's like you got to push that first round is always a press. So it's like, yeah, you play the first 3 days, usually the first 3 games in the first 3 days. So, hey, if you don't got the horses after 3, you're done in 4 or 5 anyway. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah, no doubt. So, and we got to keep that, Ryan and team keep putting more seats in the stands. And, I like to think that our results keep them there.
Oh, I think they do.
And, we're converting those casual fans into baseball fans. And that's all down to what Brian and the guys are able to do.
Well, no question. It's just like we talked about it just when I was talking to Ryan and everything else. There's certain things that you guys are doing that you do so well. And you're not afraid to take risks either. Like it's just... So if it doesn't work, hey, we'll never mention it again. But it doesn't work.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. But it's good to see the rest of the league is definitely not only just following suit. They're
exactly
doing their own thing, and just up to QEW there, what Eric and team are doing, and it's amazing. I think.
Well, it's hilarious. My phone does. Eric knows I get up early in the morning. So he always takes prime advantage of that to say, Well, by the way, we're dropping something in like around 9:00. I'm like looking at my phone. It's 5:30 in the morning. What? This better be somebody better be good. That's all I can say. And then he's like, I'm not telling you who it is. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like you're not telling me who it is. No, you got to wait till 9:00. And I'm just like, are you killing me? For the next 4 hours, I got to sit around and figure out who the heck it is.
They've had more than one big announcement.
Well, exactly.
We know the big splash was Fernando.
Yeah.
But within the realm of our league, arguably maybe even a bigger splash is the conductor.
Yeah. Well, exactly. Like he's going home, so it's just like and it's like, and I had talked to him the night before, and he didn't tell me anything.
Poker player.
Yeah. It's like I haven't heard anything in the Leaf land. I'm like, I'm getting down on a shirt, and you're wearing it. It's for batting practice.
Well, maybe we can get maybe we can somehow get transferred to the Go line, go provincial instead of TTC. Then you'd have transportation
all around. Exactly, that'd be great. Yeah. Well, thanks for taking the time as always, my friend. It's always great to have you on, and I know our chats and everything else. People are probably the insiders.
Now that you've outed me, I know because I watch every game, and even if we're not playing, you probably all of a sudden your text will blow up and it's not even a Welland game.
Yeah, it's like
I want to tune in and see you and the crew and stuff like that. So if I know something or if I
well, exactly, and it's always great. It's great to have that insight and the inside information. So it's like and it makes me look smart for most of those minutes.
The best worst kept secret going, right?
Yeah, it's all good though. I do appreciate it. Checks in the mail as always, sir.